When you think of Christmas, what are the top 3 things that come to mind? Mine are the birth of Christ, spending time with family, and presents. I know that last one can be a little on the shallow side, but who doesn't think about presents at Christmas time? We're either buying and wrapping them, or we're staring at them under the tree trying to figure out what that gift is. In fact, I caught my kids doing that just the other day and thought it was pretty funny. When we look at the Christmas story and see the first giving of presents, we have a tendency of just glossing right over it. So for a few moments today, I want to dive into some strange presents that were given to the Christ child. Matthew chapter 2 gives the account of the wise men coming and presenting these gifts to Jesus. So I want you to go ahead and pause this video right now and go read Matthew chapter 2. All right, before we get into the gifts, let's take a moment and look at these wise men themselves. In the Greek, the word used in Scripture for wise men can also be translated as magician. Now, the term for magician back in these times was not someone who does optical illusions or pulls a rabbit out of the hat. These were men and women who dabbled in some really dark stuff. They also engaged in astrology and astronomy, and the latter of which is what triggered their interest in making a journey from the east. Outside of what we read in the Gospels, there is not much more known about these people. We know they came from the east and were more than likely secular scholars. And we don't know what happened to them after the account in Matthew chapter 2. They came in, they played the part God had for them, and then they exited stage left. You see, God can use and does use the secular person just like he does the Christian in the advancement of his kingdom. But that's a whole nother devo for another time. When the Magi arrived at the home of Joseph, Mary, and young Jesus, they presented 3 gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And as a child, the gold might be the only thing that would have been interesting because it was so shiny. So why these strange gifts? Each gift would play an important role in the life of Christ. You see, the gold, which was a kingly gift and a testament to Jesus' kingship, would play a pivotal role in the coming exile to Egypt. Think about it. Think of the timing of this gift. Within a short time, this family would be uprooted from everything they knew and have to flee to a foreign land. We have no idea if Joseph had bankrolled a rainy day fund or would be able to access the funds in his 401k. But the gift of gold was a gift that would allow this family to survive until they could establish themselves in the land of Egypt. Next comes the frankincense. Now, during biblical times, frankincense was used in the making of perfume and incense. Specifically, the incense that was used in the most holy place in the tabernacle. When it comes to this and the myrrh, which we'll look at here in a moment, I scratch my head sometimes and think, of all the gifts the Magi could have brought, why these 2? Why would you take a child something like this? What would possess them to take something that would be used in an atmosphere of worship to a child? Then I stop and I remember that God had his hand on this entire process, and everything he does has a purpose. You see, while a strange gift to give, specifically a child, this gift of frankincense was a testament to the divinity of the Christ child. Finally comes the gift of myrrh. This gift was used to anoint the high priests in the temple at Jerusalem. When the Magi presented this gift to the Christ child, it showed Jesus' status as high priest. In fact, Scripture reminds us time and again that Christ is our high priest, interceding on our behalf with the Father in heaven. While all 3 of these gifts were odd from an earthly standpoint, from that of the holy, they carried great significance and symbolism. The gold, Jesus' kingship. The frankincense, Jesus' divinity. The myrrh, Jesus' priestly role. While we may relegate these gifts to the Christmas story and gloss over them, we must always remember, as a child of God, Jesus is the divine King who is our high priest. And because he came to earth as a babe some 2,000 years ago, we get to have that relationship with him. You see, just as God had a purpose behind each one of these strange gifts, he had a purpose for each one of us, or he has a purpose for each one of us. So take some time today and pray and ask God to reveal his purpose for your life. What is it he has in store for you? We're all praying for a safe and Merry Christmas for you all. God bless.